Hello, today I'm going to be filming a dual track review because I can no longer do something that is so egregious and so criminal and sleep on Troye Sivan, an artist who I have heard of over the years. I remember his album Blue Neighborhood. I remember checking it out, and for whatever reason, maybe I was just really busy at the time, I just never really got into it, and so I still have to go back and listen to a lot of those songs. I did really get into one song, Heaven, featuring Betty Who. I think there was a music video, came out like a year ago, and that sort of got me more interested in him. And I know recently he's been a little bit more open about his sexuality, although I think that he was still very open about that in the past. And of course, as I've talked about in my Sam Smith review, I'm very interested in seeing male artists be more open about their sexuality, as well as female artists as well, of course, using the actual pronouns they want to use and instead of hiding it. So I'm really looking forward to Troy's new album. This will be my first time really following his career, and I'm definitely feel like it's about dang time I caught up because I have been criminally sleeping on a lot of artists, and that's just how the nature of this is. There's more and more artists coming up in the scene, and it's harder to keep track of them all. And I can't even remember, did he start on YouTube, or I remember hearing about him as like, I thought he was a YouTuber, and I know he's from Australia. Anyway, how old is he? He's 22. Okay, that's about the age I thought he was, so a bit younger than me. Okay, so My is the lead single that he released a week ago, which I am late reviewing, but that was because I at first was like, oh, I might just wait until the album comes out, and then I was like, I haven't done a track review on this channel since, like, October. I don't know why. I mean, I guess I've just been doing so many albums, and I don't do as many track reviews because I tend to like to wait until the actual album comes out to talk about a lot of these songs. But we don't know how long it may be before the album comes from Troy. There's still no release date set for it. So I wanted to review this song and his other song, The Good Side, which he just released this week. I thought it might come with a pre-order of the album since he's dropping another song. But no, it's probably just because he has the SNL performance this weekend, and they usually perform 2 songs instead of just 1. So My and The Good Side are perfect sort of, it's sort of like when Lorde released Greenlight, and then she also released Liability, I think like a week or 2 later. One song that's very poppy, that's perfect for radio, that, you know, shows the extroverted side of the record, and then another side that's very stripped back and acoustic, like the big, epic, soulful ballad. And that's very introspective, and so the 2 complement each other. It's becoming, I think, increasingly popular for artists to do that. You know, to show, Camila Cabello did that with Crying in the Club, and then I Have Questions. It's like release 2 songs at once that are kind of different from each other and that give more of a breadth of what the album and music is supposed to be, what you can get a sense of. And I think, I mean, I'll be honest, it didn't blow me away. I saw it with the music video, which has, it's a very ecstatic and fun dance song. And I think it was very well produced for pop radio. It's very confident. And I can see it being fitting for him sort of returning, 'cause this is a big comeback single for him. The sampled of his vocals kind of reverberated back and forth does sound kind of interesting, and so it has that electronic backbone to it. All in all, I do kind of wish that the chorus was a little bit more interesting sonically. I just not entirely sure if I like the just repetitiveness and the sort of monotone delivery of it. It's sort of shouty, but at the same time, I'm definitely getting more into it. It's something that you sort of grow to listen to and like a lot more. I think the verses are more kind of interesting. It's a very erotic song, and the lyrics are also very erotic. When he sings, I got my tongue between your teeth, go slow, now go fast. You like it just as much as me. Unapologetic pleasure and experience. And laying that all on the table is quite revolutionary, I think, for a pop song. And again, and I don't know if it's something I'm really gonna come back to. It wasn't necessarily a song that I was like, I need to have this on my phone, like, right now. But I definitely appreciate it for that. I think The Good Side makes me a little bit more intrigued. The Good Side is this very stripped back singer-songwriter, little bit folk-leaning acoustic ballad that is very soft. It's very hushed and refined, and it's very bittersweet. It's kind of interesting because he's singing about, instead of in a relationship where one may feel jaded or bitter about how things ended, you might think that someone actually saw the bad side of them. I got the short stick. I didn't see all that I wish I could have seen from you, and I feel like I was shortchanged a bit because of this relationship. But this is different. He's not singing about being jaded about the relationship ending. He's reflecting in almost a more positive way, saying, I actually got a better side than probably you could even see yourself. And in some ways, I feel terrible because you didn't get as good of a side of me as I got from you. So it could possibly be him reflecting on maybe he should have done better in the relationship, which is a very interesting, point to take when you take some of the blame and you admit that things fell apart for more than just one person. It's both people make things come together or fall apart. That shimmery instrumentation at the beginning is quite interesting. It's a little bit off-putting because it doesn't really fit with the stripped-back acoustic vibe. It's that electronic psychedelia that is interesting at the beginning, and then it kind of morphs into the end. I mean, the song does pick up a little bit towards the end. Found arms to fall right into. I love how it looked. It wasn't the plan, and someday I hope that you'll understand. We sometimes feel like we're using people for our own comfort, and we're not thinking about possibly the mixed signals that we might be sending. Like maybe they're not being clear that this is more of just like a one-time thing, or it's just not what that other person might think it is, and they feel terrible because they just realize they might have led this person on. Like this person really needed to be consoled at a time when they were feeling really low, and that other person took that as a sign that they think they're the one, and now that other person is realizing I shouldn't have gone that far and not told you how I really feel, and so I apologize. You gave me so much and I did not give you nearly as much in return. So it's a heartfelt, sincere ballad, and I think it definitely shows his range of songwriting abilities. It's Ed Sheeran, but it's also more interesting to me than Ed Sheeran because I can relate a little bit more to, obviously, the LGBT angle. So I'm pretty sure he's going to have a pretty successful record coming up. I have good feelings about it. I'm sure he's progressing to do some more interesting compositions and more interesting, more in-depth songwriting about relationships in pertaining to his own life. Not that I'm sure he hasn't already done that on his album Blue Neighborhood, and I really need to check that out. I will be probably sometime down the line. If I definitely will check it out, and if I do, I may do a review. I definitely will be reviewing his new album, though. I will say this, I've got so many albums that I do need to review that I already have heard, and I really want to get through almost all of those, and that could take, like, a long time, so I definitely am gonna check it out, but I can't guarantee when I might be reviewing and putting a review up of that. But like I said, whenever his new album comes out, I will film a review of that. So I'm really interested to hear where he's going, but I definitely think the good side is a little bit more interesting. So I hope you enjoyed this review. Please subscribe and like if you enjoyed, because I'm going to be doing a lot more song and album reviews. 2018 is starting to gear up. We're getting some more music coming out. It's always it's always a little bit painfully slow in January and February to have like the gears start shifting for coming out of the holiday fog where everything just sort of stops and we don't hear a lot of news about a lot of music. So we're starting to get that going again. So I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Bye.